If you are new to following me, I am a physical therapist from the Tampa Bay area. I got a chronic pain clinic, so people in here are generally, frustrated with the medical system. Um, you know, failed everything type stories, and I've learned to get exceptional results in that patient population. And that is what I have been teaching on here for the longest time, is how to get the results that I get here. In my clinic, I also publish papers. So I've published many papers and protocols on, like, I propose the name of the papers are like root cause of SI joint dysfunction, root cause of sacral torsion shear, anterior sacral tilt, root cause of plantar fasciitis. I wrote a paper on shoulder impingements, and recently root cause of carpal tunnel papers. So those papers have gone viral. And I actually found out that they're in like some of the most read orthopedic papers in history. So according to what did they say? They said that the journal told me was like 13. I posted it. It's like pinned to my channel with whatever you're on. I pinned it. It's got like 13,500 views or something like that to my sacral torsion shear paper. And that is just in the last 12 months. I published that like in 2021 or something like that. So they said that papers 3 to 5 years after that that are hitting that many views are considered viral and historic evergreen papers. So there is a reason why those papers are considered historic papers, is because people are loving the results from it. So I post the stuff all the time, the testimonials and all that stuff. But what I am on here talking about is very soon, I am going to launch my membership model. Okay, so before 2020, I used to teach. In 2020, I used to teach, before that, I used to travel the country teaching, the myofascial method that people love, where I published a paper on that describing these are reflex pain points, or instantly shut off pain in the paper in these cases I published. That's wild. Like, people love that. In my intro shoulder course, I actually give a money back guarantee if you can't relieve the pain of the majority of people you attempt the method on, or get full range of motion, we'll give you a full refund. I've been doing that for the longest time, and people love that course. So anyways, I was teaching that, and then everywhere I went, people would ask me, strangely, hey man, will you teach me how to open and run that business you have in Tampa? And I was like, no, I'm just here to teach clinical stuff. I never even thought about teaching business. This was like, I don't know, 2017, something like that. And then I said to myself, so these people that come in here generally have, like, I just finished with evaluating somebody that had seen 12 specialists, had a surgery that didn't help, and specialists that had surgery didn't help, and then came here. I opened up her SI joints, rotated her sacrum back. Generally doesn't show up on an X-ray and MRI, and this person's out of pain immediately. So that's like the average story of what I see in here. And I thought to myself, if I could teach people how to open and run one of these cash-based businesses, then we can get these clinics all over where people know how to treat these issues that I see in here all the time. They copy and paste, what I publish, what I'm doing in here, and also in my courses, where I go much more in depth into it. And so I took a select group of people over the past several years, and they were probably like most of you, burnt out, working in some kind of mill, right? And they had that itch, that entrepreneurial itch, and they wanted a better life. They wanted out of the rat race of, whatever percent raises, that the company said that they were allowed that year, whatever, right? And they wanted more freedom. And they're just tired of seeing ridiculous amounts of patients a day and not being able to even have energy for their family. I think we've all worked in places like that where it's just like, what am I doing here? It's like every day is like a hurricane. You feel like you just got caught in a tornado type thing. Anyways, so I help these people get out of that, to get out of that situation that they found themselves in. And I helped these select physical therapists and chiropractors how to go from a regular old clinic and then to open a cash-based clinic. So they left their jobs and they opened a cash-based clinic, and I mentored them along the way. And they're successful at this. They are no longer have a job. They work for themselves and they're doing very well. Last time I talked to one of the therapists in Alaska, a physical therapist, she had taken a lot of my courses. She had taken a lot of my my clinical courses, and she was one of the people that asked me if I would help her open and run a cash-based business. And anyways, I taught her, and last time I talked to her, she was working 2 to 3 days a week and doing much better financially than working 40 hours a week. And she just wanted to be a mom, so she is doing exceptionally well. So one of the things that I do not agree with in this medical system is that if you're terrible at your job, you get paid more money. So in this medical system, I get more co-payments if I'm terrible, right? Person keeps coming for months and months and months and months and months. I don't agree with that. I think that is totally inverted. I think that if you're good at your job, you should be rewarded. And so what I did is I created a business model based off of chronic pain patients, and I used my protocols. And I created a business model on how to help basically get paid for your clinical skills, which is the exact opposite. Like, no one has ever, I've been in business private practice about 17 years, but when I used to work for people, not one person, not one boss, anything ever said to me, hey man, we need you to get better results. It's always just bill more, right? Like nobody ever said that to me, like why isn't that a priority? Like get better results for people. Like I never heard that. It was always just need you to bill more. I need you to code this. It's a higher billing rate. We get more money from that, right? So I think the whole system is inverted. I think that you should get paid for the results that you provide. And so that's what I did is I created this business model years and years ago. And it's basically the chronic pain world, but like, I'm not worried about treating the chronic pain world generally. I mean, I get pretty exceptional results within the chronic pain world. And, I publish papers about these, if you read my papers on my website, weltonmethods.com, WHELTON methods.com, you can go to publications, you can read my papers, and this person failed all these different things, surgeries, all this, that, the other thing. I do my protocol, boom, person gets better. This person failed all these different things, had it for 30 years, do my protocol, boom, patient gets better. That's it. And a lot of the patients in my sacral paper, I documented, thought about ending it all because they were just like, no one knows what's wrong with me, and anyway, so what I want to do is what I'm doing actually is helping people open and run one of these chronic pain cash-based clinics where I will mentor you. There's limited spots. I'm not doing this like, there's not going to be like tons and tons of people. There's limited spots, and I'm going to start to open it up, and I will mentor you on how to open and run what I've done to numerous people now, open and run one of these clinics. And what I see as a problem is I like to be useful in the world. I'm a very practical person. I like to be useful. And what I see is there's a bazillion coaches in every industry, right? Bazillion mentors. I'll mentor you, this, that, the other thing, right? Well, in this industry, in the physical therapy, chiropractic type, cash-based clinic thing, there's a bazillion coaches. Like everybody's teaching you how to open and run a clinic, and everyone's talking about how to charge more. I have personally never seen anybody talk about getting better outcomes. Patients patients want results. I've been in business almost 17 years. Patients are bottom line people. This is what they want. They want to get out of pain immediately. They do not want to suffer. Okay? They want you to know how to do that. They want to get better. Okay? That's what they want. They want that. And they don't mind paying for it if the person knows what they're doing. And that is something that I don't see people talking about. I don't see people talking about getting better outcomes in this field. Like I see online all the time, like people talking about we need to increase awareness about the fact that we have doctorate degrees in physical therapy. I'm like, who cares? Patients don't care. I'm with them every day. They don't care if I had a Cracker Jack box certificate. Like, they literally don't care. You know what they care about? They care about results. So and they want to be out of pain immediately. So what I have done is fill that gap. And not only am I going to bring business mentorship expertise, but also I'm going to bring in clinical expertise, my methods that people love all around the world. It's all around the world now, and that people love. So, and I'm going to show you and mentor you not only on the business aspect of it, how to open and run a cash-based clinic, or how to transition to a cash-based clinic from those ridiculous insurance clinics, but I'll also teach you the clinical aspect of how I get these people better. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I got a patient, with, back pain, tried everything, how do I evaluate and treat it, Ryan? And I will work with you on that. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is filling a gap in this, is because like I said, everybody's telling people how to charge more and fancy sales techniques. Do you know what my sales techniques are in my clinic? Highly successful cash-based clinic. Do you know what it is? I get the person out of pain. When I get the person out of pain, they trust me. I don't have sales techniques. I literally just relieve their pain with my methods. And then I show them what it costs to see me. And the person trusts me. You don't have to sit there and manipulate the person's brain into thinking that you're really good at what you're doing, which is what a lot of these fancy sales techniques. I mean, it's an industry. Sales is an industry. You know what I find is the most effective sales technique in the world? It's just to be honest. Just be honest with them. Is say, yeah, no, like, I just got you out of pain, and this is what was wrong with you. I'm showing you on a bone model what I did to you, to get you out of pain. So here's what's wrong with you, and here's what we need to do to fix it. My success rate is enter your success rate. Like, I have a guy in Iowa that I trained how to open and run a cash-based clinic. I also trained him on the clinical part of it. And I talked to him the other day. He's an awesome physical therapist. And he's like, it's extraordinarily rare. I can't get somebody out of pain that walks into my clinic. And he has a chronic pain clinic. If you read his Google reviews, you would think, like, the second coming came back to heal people in Iowa. It's like, I failed everything. This guy helped me, like, it's amazing. And he's changing lives. So, and saving lives too, because he sees it too. He sees what I see in here, which is these people have no hope. And it's tragic what happens to them. So, anyways, that's my issue with the medical system is, number one, you get paid to be awful at your job. I'm not saying people want to be awful. I'm just saying there's no incentive to be better, and in fact, you lose money as a business. Like when I used to take insurance, like way back in the day, 2009 I started, so I think I took insurance for like 3 years. And when I used to take insurance, I was like I was getting people better that had generally failed at everything, but I was doing it very efficiently, 5 to 8 weeks. Whereas like other people are seeing people for the rest of their life. Other people are seeing people, for 3 months, 6 months or whatever. I lose in that situation, but I couldn't stop morally, ethically. I couldn't stop. I didn't agree. Like I couldn't tell somebody that, like, yeah, you need to come for 6 months or something, like, no, like I could do it in 5 to 8 weeks. And I would tell them, yeah, no, I can generally do this in 5 to 8 weeks. It's a team effort, me and you, and it's not I fix you. We do this together, and here's my success rate with this. Here's what it costs to see me. And we do it. Now, in the insurance-based world, I was getting crushed compared to the other clinics around because they were seeing people 3 times as much as me. You know what I'm saying? So I realized that this whole system is backwards and that I refuse to be incentivized to be terrible at my job. And what I wanted to do was to get paid for my excellent clinical skills that I've taught so many people, I think that people would agree with me that if you're a lawyer and you win all your cases type thing and you charge $1,000 an hour, or if you're a lawyer who loses all your cases, then you can't charge that because people know you're terrible. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, that is what my philosophy is that I want to teach people how to get paid for the results that they provide people and paid accordingly to their clinical skills. Okay. So there's going to be limited spots. If you go to weltonmethods.com, links usually in the bio, weltonmethods.com, WHELTON.com, go to my free school group, SKOOL, school group. Okay. But you do that by going to the courses drop down. At the bottom of it says become a VIP member. Become a VIP member, okay? And when you join that free group, it's free. I'm teaching in there live right now. I'm teaching clinical stuff live. I taught how I diagnose and treat SI joint dysfunction. I taught how I relieve headaches immediately. I taught how I relieve tennis elbow pain immediately. Today I taught about sacral dysfunctions and how I realign that. And how I diagnose it and how I check myself to make sure that I'm right in my diagnosis of sacral dysfunctions, which can be kind of tricky, So I'm teaching in there live. Now, listen, so that's my business course, okay? So my business course and my business mentorship, where I'm teaching you to open and run these highly successful, highly profitable cash-based clinics based on results, based on your clinical results. But like I said, I come in with the clinical expertise and show you how I'm getting the results here, show you how I the papers that I published, like all those people that have failed all kinds of crazy things, like how to diagnose and get these people better the way that I do, So, so that is what I'm doing on that. Now, listen, I have another avenue, and that other avenue is for if you're not an entrepreneur and you don't think like, you've never had that entrepreneurial itch, it's much easier to work for somebody, right? People that want to take my courses, okay, not only will you get, it's the sign up page will be live on Friday. But not only will you take my courses, you're going to get a massive discount on all of my courses, all of my clinical courses, and how I get the results that I get in here, which my courses are wildly successful. My protocols are literally all over the world, viral. I am going to not only that give you a give a massive discount, but I'm also going to be teaching live in a group where people can actually bring patients in and we can all learn, and I'll help guide the diagnosis in the treatment plan. And but I'll also be teaching, much more in depth into how to treat, how I treat XYZ, diagnosis, how I evaluate it, how I treat it. So I'm doing two things. I'm teaching business and clinical on one path, okay, how to open and run a business, and how I get the clinical results that I get in here, and how I've taught people how to do that for a decade or so. And then I also am just teaching clinicians over here, okay? So where we go live with live Q&A, and you'll get massive discounts on my courses. It's literally a no-brainer, because not only do you get the massive discount, but you also get access to this exclusive community. And in there, there'll be limited spots as well. Okay, so if you are interested, go to my school group, SKOOL, and you can just go to my website, weltonmethods.com. There should be a link in the bio, weltonmethods.com, and go to the drop-down menu under courses, become a VIP member. And that'll bring you right to the sign-up page for my free school group. And in there, I'm talking about it much more in depth. And I will, and the sign-up page for this will be live, should be Friday. So I'm super excited about this. And I will be teaching people how to open and run cash-based businesses, mentor every step of the way. We'll have constant calls. We will work together. And I will also teach the clinical part, the most important part that nobody talks about. Nobody talks about how to get better results, just how to charge more. Like you have to provide you have to provide the result that the patient is looking for. You want to know what happens if you don't. You get bad reviews and you get bad comments under your page, and you get refund requests. People are like, dude, you hurt me, man. I want my money back. Or I didn't get better. Why should I have to pay for this crap? So anyways, that is what I am teaching people. Okay. So go to my website, weltonmethods.com, and become a VIP member. It's under the drop down under courses, and click that. There's going to be limited spots. Okay. For both the clinical mentorship track and also the business and clinical track. Okay, this is perfect for new grads. I know new grads, they taught you in school, like this is what you got to do, like this is what the latest evidence shows, and you'll find out quick, like I did, that, you're sitting there with Mrs. Jones, who's begging you to help her in pain, and it's not working what they taught you, and a lot of them, the papers they publish go against that, what they taught you, but those papers are literally considered historic papers. If you type those views into to AI, it says those are historic papers. And the reason why, and it goes against what you learned in school. So a lot of people, like new grads, feel lost. They feel lost in the clinic. And I can help that. So I can give you direction, help you diagnose and treat. So if you want to take the clinical track part, I will help you do that. Okay. And I will help you, share with you how I get the results that I get in here. I'm generally not worried about this. This is not a complex job for me. Treating is something I do on autopilot. Diagnosing is something I do on autopilot generally. It's not, and I'm a pretty good diagnostician. People come to me from literally everywhere. They fly in all the time. Anyways, that's that. But if you want to sign up, go to weltonmethods.com, go to courses, tab, go all the way down the end. It says become a VIP member. Click on that. Join my VIP inner circle. It's free, and I'm talking more about it in there. Plus, there's also live instructional videos in there that you can see. I'm posting them in there right now. So there's going to be limited spots. Join now and don't miss out. And share, you know, if you're working with, you know, other clinicians, you know, you guys are interested, I'm going to be teaching. So other than that, all right, I haven't been live in a while. It's kind of strange for me. Years ago, I used to do this, but not so much lately. Anyways, that's that. All right. Peace. Love you all. Go sign up.